more than 46 million Americans are leaving home for Thanksgiving, and that is the highest number of travelers since 2007. But don't count Africa as one of the vacation destinations. Travel to Africa was supposed to hit an all-time high this year, increasing from 6% from last year. But the Ebola virus has scared tourists away, and now safari operators are seeing 20 to 70% declines. But two entrepreneurs are looking to turn that around. Andy Hogg and Evan Orenston teamed up to find a way to bring travel back to African safaris. Their incentive? Profits will go toward building schools in Zambia and anti-poaching efforts. Some staggering poaching numbers caught our eye, and we want to call your attention to them. In Central Africa, the elephant population has declined by 64% in a decade. And in just 3 years, ivory-seeking poachers have killed 100,000 African elephants. I want to welcome Andy Hogg, co-founder and owner of Bush Camp Company and Mfuw Lodge, and Evan Orenston, co-founder and executive editor of Cool Hunting. It's so nice to have both of you with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
These are staggering statistics, and of course, as so many Americans have been following and people around the world have been following, the Ebola epidemic has really put a dent in things.
Massive dent.
Yeah, it's enormous. The impact, I mean, it's obviously an impact in Africa, but it's also an impact in the States, where tour operators are not getting phone calls or not getting emails, so their businesses are in trouble. But the impact in Africa is enormous. It's not only people's businesses, but it's projects, community and conservation projects, that are also going to be in jeopardy if we can't get this right.
Because those private dollars, they create incentives, they create entire businesses, and a lot of that private money is what's going towards rebuilding communities in many parts of Africa.
Right.
Sure.
And that's one of the things that we love about what Andy and Bush Camp Company does, is that he's a real pioneer in taking, putting a small fee in everyone's reservation every day and saying we're going to use that money towards conservation efforts locally in town.
So explain how all of this works.
We add into our rate a certain amount that we then use for our projects, and we do both community projects and conservation projects. We raise about $400,000 a year that goes back into funding about 400 children to go to school a year.
$400,000.
Yeah, so the total number is about $400,000, and we use that for various different projects. One of them is funding about 400 kids to go to school a year. The other is feeding 1,800 kids a day, one meal a day. And then there's conservation projects where we've helped fund the anti-poaching unit with an aircraft to do anti-poaching surveillance. But it all comes from the business of raising money. All comes from tourists coming to Zambia and to any of the African countries. So the Ebola issue is affecting businesses, but by affecting businesses, it's affecting people. And initially, 3 or 4 weeks ago, when it was so in the press so much, it.
Have you seen a lot of cancellations?
We have seen a lot of cancellations, but what we don't know is the forward bookings that aren't coming in. Which is huge.
Ebola is obviously a really serious issue, and you should investigate wherever you're going for travel or other reasons if there's health concerns. But Zambia is about a 7-hour plane ride away from where there's any Ebola. So nothing in the region in the southeastern part of Africa has any Ebola whatsoever. So it's like getting on a plane in New York, going to LA, and backtracking back almost to Colorado. It's that far away. So it's not really an immediate danger in at least the part of Africa that Andy is in.
Which really puts all of this into perspective for people who think of booking Africa as one big place, that it is in many, many different countries, many different people and experiences and nationalities. There's a lot going on there. It's not just one thing. On the anti-poaching side of this story, that's been going on much longer than Ebola has been in the news. And one of the reasons that it goes on is because of the economic benefits to the poachers. What on the black market right now, what are tusks going for?
I'm not sure the value, but it used to be valued at more than gold.
More than gold?
More than gold, yeah. I mean, we all know how expensive, the price of gold. So it's really valuable. That's not obviously the people that are doing the hunting on the ground. That's the end user is obviously getting the big money. But the guy on the ground is getting a job, he's getting employment. And then until there's political will in African countries, and predominantly the East, to sort the problem out, we are going to have a problem. But it goes back to the community and the conservation. If we can link community and conservation together with our businesses, we will have a chance of making an impact. If we can't link the community to that, we're not going to have or be able to make an impact at the end of the day.
I think it's kind of simple. If you have a successful local business and you're employing a lot of people within the community, then they're not looking for outside jobs like poaching. That's one way of thinking about it.
They have an economic opportunity that makes sense. It's right there. It's for the taking. They're not going to be lured into some, nefarious.
Right. And it's something they're proud of. I think Andy's probably the biggest employer in the region where he's based, and people take a real source of pride in working for him.
We're seeing on the screen right here elephants walking through what appears to be the lobby. Is that what you're going to see if you go on this safari?
At this time of the year, it is, yes.
So the elephants come right into the lobby?
That's correct. They come through the lobby area to go to a wild mango tree, which is ripe at this time of the year. The fruit is ripe at this time of the year. So, and that was
at the zoo. And I'm sorry, this might sound ridiculous, but at the zoo, or even in most of the pictures of safaris that you see, they're somewhere farther away. But those people were standing right on the other side of what looks like check-in.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. I have been there a couple times. I've not seen that yet. We tend to go in the summer, which is the dry season. But you are very close to the wildlife, just feet away from just about every animal you can imagine. That's, I think, part of what makes going on safari so exhilarating, and in particular, doing it in the South Luangwa National Park, where the Mfuw Lodge is based.
Yeah. It's amazing that the trust that the animals have in people to be able to do that, and they are 100% wild. It's not.
These are wild elephants that we're seeing walking through the lobby.
Completely wild, and once
I'm thinking somebody on the other side of that counter must have a pack of combos or something. Cheez-Its. I don't know what they like to eat, but.
It's a really unique experience and an amazing experience to see.
Andy and Evan, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for Real Biz. We want to hear from you. Where are you heading for the holidays? Maybe not Africa, but we'd still like to hear about it. You can like us, tweet us at Rebecca Jarvis, and comment below. And from the studios in New York City, I'm Rebecca Jarvis. Have a great day.